Alright, so another Neo vlog. It seems like the gods are smiling on me today because I'm getting 4 videos out in one sitting, not to mention that I already got a half hour of stock footage, and it seems like if my computer battery is anything to go off of, which it usually isn't, but if it is, then I might even get 10 or 20 minutes of stock footage on top of what I already had for the pile of extra stock footage, which it doesn't matter to you guys, but at least not in what we're talking about right now. But for reference, I have a folder of like the stuff that's like 5 minutes long, stock footage where I filmed it right before my computer died, which I don't think I mentioned this before, but it turns out when my computer just dies, even though it dies at 5%, that still annoys me, but when my computer just dies, it turns out it has a feature to auto stop the recording, which is really nice. So as a result, I try to film when I have 8% or whatever. I try to film and I get these like 3 to 5 minute chunks. At some point I'm gonna have to use them when a video just runs a few minutes too long. In fact, I have one that's 17 minutes long even, which is way on the edge. On top of that fact, it's also the fact that it's kind of at an angle and it's got other problems. Anyways, but I'm gonna add these videos on when a video, we'll say I have 20 minutes of looking at a stream, and then I have a video which is 22 minutes long. I'll add on, like I have one that's 4 minutes long. I'll just take half of that one. Once I use footage, I'm gonna not use it again, except for the intros, which are basically just, at this point, like, I'm just, like, the intro for the new economics thing, which isn't new by the time this gets uploaded, but the footage of that, in case you didn't see it, was just inevitably just a chunk of that video muted and with text floating above it, just because I have like 20 ongoing series at this point. At least I've gone to enough distinct areas to film that that'll make distinct intros. At some point I'm gonna have to start repeating where I've been sitting, unless I want to start going really far away to record these, and that kind of defeats the point. I'll have the same problem I had with the daily and the weekly vlogs, where it just becomes too hard to do it. Anyways, although I'm still going moderately far away to do these, is the thing I should preface. There isn't exactly just a ton of little pleasant streams right next to where I live. I don't mind. I'm actually a pleasant distance away from where I live that I wouldn't mind doing this anyways, even if I didn't have Hess-mage stuff to do. I wouldn't mind every few days or so going to a pleasant park like I'm sitting at right now. But all the same, I'd ideally like to keep this within this kind of area, in which case, inevitably I'm going to have to start repeating stuff. Especially since, as time goes on, especially as it gets hotter, I'm not going to want to, like, you know, sit in the middle of things. Oh, sure, I'll film stock footage and record over it sometime, but I'm really gonna want to sit where there's shade, and it's gonna chop my available places to sit by but it's gonna really chop down where I'm able to record these suckers. Not to an insane degree, but it's gonna be like a fifth as many options. So, because you don't know, if it's just a grassy bank looking at a stream, like, you'd think there's 100 places to sit, but as soon as I set down the camera, if I set it too close to the stream, it'll just plop in, and if I set it too far away, it'll be covered up by the grass, because you don't really think about it, but once I set down the camera, it sinks basically to ground level, and then the grass is 6 inches tall. Anyways, there's problems. I've basically got to find some place high up to put it, like it's currently sitting like 4 feet off the ground, or like 2 or something. Maybe 3 feet is a good estimation of that. Anyways, off the ground, or I have to, well, basically that's what it is. I have to sit it up at least a few inches off the ground. So I'm gonna inevitably start repeating these things. But luckily I found enough distinct places to record that I should be able to create intros for these. Sorry if they're considerably lazy intros, just, you know, muted footage with text over it. But it's the best I can do, and it's better than just having like a general Hess-mage intro. like the general outro. It's better than just having Hessmage and then just saying the name of it and putting in the title. I like to have individual show intros, even if they're all basically the same from different locations. That was a rant that was 5 minutes and not even on the topic that I was going to talk about. And you know what? I'm not even going to talk about this topic. We're going to make 6 videos today. Because, why not? Or not 6, 5. So, anyways, I thought I would explain, since this video has basically become distinct on its own, I thought I would explain what's been happening. Channel news, you could call it, as I have before. Maybe not channel news, general news. So yeah, enjoy the dogs. All right, so I suppose he's saying goodbye for us. Yeah.